could sense a lot of pain in this room, and I come from a lot of pain and neglect, so this is going to be a warm room that's really receptive to me. I'm originally from Toronto. A lot of my buddies back home in Toronto ask me, why would you move all the way to Saskatoon? And to answer that question, I gotta go back 14 years. My wife and I were on our first date. She was in medical school at the time, so I asked her, hey, what prompted you to pursue medicine? And she said, since I was 9 years old, I wanted to be a doctor. And everything I've done since I was 9 years old was to become a doctor. And she asked me, what's your passion? What have you been pursuing throughout the course of your life? And I said, well, when I was 9 years old, I wanted to be point guard for the New York Knicks. And she was laughing and she said, well, you're 28 years old, and I'm assuming you have some grown-ass man dreams. And I was like, no, I still want to be point guard for the New York Knicks. And you and I are alike because I haven't given up on my dreams. And 14 years later, she is living her dream as a doctor in Saskatoon. And I don't know if there's any New York Knicks fans. I'm still not the point guard for the New York Knicks. Although, when we moved here, she told me what she was going to be making, and I realized I had married the point guard for the New York Knicks. So, my wife and I's, biggest accomplishment is that we have 2 kids. We got a 7-year-old daughter who is a boss lady in training, and then we got a 5-year-old son who's a lot like me. He's a fucking space cadet. He's all over the place. And he's got loads of questions. A little while ago, he came up to me and he said, Daddy, how come boys don't get to wear dresses? And I was horrified and a little bit scared by that question. And when I'm horrified and scared, I say some stupid shit. So I said, that's because boys get to wear hoodies. I knew it was a stupid answer because obviously girls get to wear hoodies. So I called her back in the room and I said, we as boys get to wear hoodies every day. Again, another stupid question, another stupid answer, but he accepted it. And then I realized, you know what, I'm not doing good by my son. So I called him back in the room and I said, we get to wear hoodies and a bow tie every day. So if you see a 5-year-old brown kid walking around the city of Saskatoon with a hoodie and a bow tie every day, he belongs to me. A few days ago, he comes home from school and he says that his buddy Cooper and his dad hiked 32 kilometers. And at the end of their hike, they pitched a tent and they slept under the stars. And he said, Daddy, isn't that super cool? Maybe you and I should do that one day. And before I became a dad, I said to myself, I would never lie to my kids. And after I became a dad, I realized the best thing I could do for them was lie to them every day. Because the truth is, the idea of hiking 32 kilometers gives me a lot of anxiety, and I suffer from anxiety because in that 32 kilometers, I'm pretty sure he and I would die because I do not possess any basic survival skills outside of living in the city. And Cooper's dad obviously has mastered resiliency, which I haven't. And I'm scared of bears and shit, right? And so, I couldn't, and also if we managed to survive those 32 kilometers, I'm sure at some point in that 32 kilometer trek, he would realize that his dad was an absolute bitch. And he would be in therapy for the rest of his life, kind of like me, with daddy issues. So I lied to him. So I looked him dead in the eye and I said, son, Cooper, him and his dad are losers. In fact, Cooper is named after a shitty tire. Your name is Narayan. You're a fucking Hindu god. Life exists because of you. So you live by your own terms, right? And I said, by the way, Narayan, get your stuff ready, because you and I are going to go to the mall. We're going to go dress shopping. So if you see a boy with a bow tie, a hoodie, and a dress, he belongs to me. So recently my wife wanted me to leave the house. I mean, not permanently, just leave the house in general, because I'm in the house every day. And so I decided to join a pickleball league, because I believe we should take advantage of the elderly. And so usually when you play pickleball, you play doubles. So my pickleball partner is a woman named Diane. Don't know if anyone knows Diane. She's 67 years old. She's a grandmother. She's had a couple of knee surgeries. So there's a break in the action. And Diane says to me, Dave, you know what? When I play pickleball, sometimes I forget about the knee surgeries. Sometimes I forget that I'm a grandmother. And I reflect on my life as a little girl playing the schoolyard. And that gives me happiness. Dave, what do you think about when you play pickleball? And I said, well, Diane, I look across the pickleball court and I usually see some grandparents. They got some knee issues, maybe hip replacement, and I say to myself, I'm gonna bust their ass up and down this pickleball court. And for a moment, I closed my eyes as well. And I imagined what it would be like to be the point guard for the New York Knicks. Thank you.